So on what basis were you given asylum?
I seek political asylum, and I had enough evidence while I was waiting for my date. I had to gather evidences. So I did gather enough evidences to prove my case, to put forward my case, and all the evidences had been verified. The information which I shared here, so it was being verified, and then based on the verification, I was granted asylum.
So the story that you're telling us, did you say the same thing or more to the U.S. authorities?
In a limited time, Ashish, we won't be able to go through 4.5 years of my life. However, I get very emotional when I talk about the kind of suffering I had to go through since May 2014. So, I'm not in a mental stage to trigger all that suffering again. So I'm trying to be precise because we have time restraints here. But yes, there's a lot more to my story than what I'm sharing right here.
In other words, the question that I'm asking is that proof of what you're saying should be available with records with the U.S. administration?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yes.
If you could say a little bit more and then round off, I would like to ask people to put questions to you. Can you tell us a little bit now, this story that you've been telling us, you've been out of India since 2014.
Yes.
Now, is it your belief that what happened as you are claiming in 2014 has continued to happen?
It is happening as we speak. The Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh election, if we wouldn't have my team who's still in India, they intercepted the transmission. With that interception, we still, like I said, we don't have much of resources, but we still wanted to see how free and fair the election would be possible. With the help of that transmission interception, the election results were very close in Madhya Pradesh. One seat was out, one seat was down. If Election Commission agrees to count the EVPAT, the entire one of it, you will see a complete discrimination between the EVM data and the VVPAT data. So you will find a huge amount of discrimination or discrepancy in the Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, and especially Telangana. In fact, it has been discovered recently that number of vote registered was higher in EVM than number of votes casted. In about 40 constituencies, about 5,000, 6,000 votes is more in 40 constituencies. An election commission did not even bother to give an explanation on what happened. And like I said, after this press meet, if anyone goes and approach election commission and ask them anything about it, they will completely deny. They will say that EVMs are tamper-proof, and if you ask to present, they will present the one which we built, the prototype which they have, which is impossible to hack, and nobody is going to do anything about it. Nobody is going to do anything about it because no political party have guts to stand up and ask, why do we have VVPAT when we can count? And now, counting VVPAT is also stupidity because it will completely sync with the data. However, back in September 2018, that bug was picked by us. They brought the EVM, VVPAT, ballot unit, control unit in a diplomatic package to America, where they asked few experts to check if it's possible to fix the bug. So a friend of mine who worked with me in ECL, he approached me, asked me if I could do that. I did it because if I wouldn't do it and somebody else would, then there will be no possibility to prove that VVPAT is sinking because of the thermal 2 second. So I did that. And later on I was attacked that night. And the guy who brought the EVM to US, when he reached India, he met with an accident and he died. An accident where he was standing at a bus station and a bus ran over, a RTC bus in Gachibowli, in Telangana, ran over him.
Just if again, for the sake of clarification, you've been referring to my team in the present tense, and then
Yes.
you had earlier said that your team was completely wiped out in the shooting incident.
Those who worked with me, they are dead.
Can you name these people who worked with you in 2014 and were shot and killed?
I can name 5 of them. Jazz, Ijaz, Hamza, Prakash, Srinath, Vamshi, Keval, Keshav, and Fareed. These guys worked with me, they got killed that day, 13th May, 1989. They got killed that day. The team I'm referring to is those who are working with me right now, those who wanted to save the democracy in India, those who are acquaintances of mine who happen to know me after I started finding out who could help me in India. So I found about 10 people in India who is willing to risk their life to intercept the transmission which is happening after 2014. I don't want to take any name of those because of their own life safety. But the team who's intercepting the transmission, who's trying to intercept the transmission in India, they are still there. And they are still trying to save Indian democracy. They are trying to save or have a free and fair election. However, it is not possible because we don't have resources. We don't have any support from any political party or any non-political party or anyone who could help us. Everyone is selfish enough to take advantage of the situation. Everyone.
So in a nutshell, who are the culprits? Who are complicit in what is happening?
Reliance Communication, the GEO, they have the network to transmit the data. BJP is obviously the beneficiary in the entire exercise because they are doing it. And those who are allies of BJP is getting benefit from the same. There are about 9 stations in India where they have the facility to do the transmission. And those who are working in that facility, even they don't know that they are tampering with EVM because they have an application, all they do, the employees working in those 9 stations, All they do is do data entry. They don't even know what data entry what they're doing. Nobody knows. It was a clear-cut victory for BJP because they're utilizing the solution which they have and it's been successful. Just imagine when Prime Minister Modi decided to do demonetization. 2 months later, UP went on election. The entire India was lined up in queue at the ATM machines